here, otherwise known as Mark, and today's tutorial is going to be another Canva course tutorial. This is the second in the lineup, and there's going to be much more, and this one's essentially going to be adding items, deleting items, moving items around, and essentially editing like text elements and photo elements to make them, well, actually just text elements to make them exactly to what you want. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So I'm here in this Canva in this Canva page, and I'm just going to click on create a design, and I'm going to say presentation. So you can just search on presentation or whatever, and I'm just going to look at here. We're going to look at first we're going to look at text. So I'm going to show you how to manipulate text just how you like it. So first of all, in the last tutorial, if you haven't watched it, make sure to go check it out, because if you're an absolute beginner to Canva, you will definitely need the last video. But if you already watched the last video, you should be fine. And so let's get straight into this. So we can just ignore these for now because I talked about this in the first video, and we don't really want something like that because these are already designed. So what we can go with is we can just click on add a heading, and as you can see, we have this just add a heading. So what we can do is to change the text, we just double click on it, we can delete it and add text. So I can just say creative coding, just like that. And now if I can just click on the screen to get rid of it. Now if I hover over it, make sure that you're not in it, because if you try to move it around, it'll just highlight. So make sure you like click off screen and then you hover over it, and you should get this blue outline, and then you can move it around wherever you want. Now I'm kind of struggling with this because I'm using a trackpad, but yeah. So as you can see, it gives us this nice purple outline to see where we can go and if we can center it. So I can look for a line just like that, and now it's in the center, kind of. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to waste too much time on this. Now it's in the center. So what I can do is, to change it, what I can do is I can just click on it. And as you can see up here, our nav bar kind of has changed a lot. I'm actually going to hide this. And you can see we have our open sans extra. This is our font, our size, our color, bold, it doesn't allow me, italics, underline, all that stuff. So let's go from the left. So we have our font here, and we can just quickly change this to anything we want. So I can change it to any font that I really want. So I can see Gagalin here, if I'm pronouncing that right, or Gagalin if it's French, I'm guessing, but I'm probably wrong. But so as you can see, we have this really cool free font here, and that's how we just change it. You just click on it just like that, and you just click on it just like that on any font that you really want. This looks a little basic, so I'm just going to go back to Gagalin. Okay. And now what I can do is, if I want to scale it up to make it look big, I can click on it, and I can see all these different points. They kind of look like points. So what I can do is I can just click on each one, and I can play around with it really, and I can see how each one of them works, just like that. And as you can see, the font now is changing. So if you just want a random size just to your liking, you can play around with that. But really, if you want to be really particular, you can change this to like let's say 100. So now as you can see, it's pretty big. So what I can do is, to make it on one line, I can hover over this small line to the side, and I can make it long just so it fits, and I can move it to the place I want. Cool. So now we're just gonna focus on this text color. And oh yeah, when you're adding text, even when you're searching up for elements and photos or anything like that, really anything you do, that's just how you take it. So I can click on it, and how to delete it, you just click on it and make sure you're not like inside the thing, otherwise you'll delete the A or whatever. So just make sure you're not on it, and you just click just like that. I'm just gonna Control Z, and now that's basically how you delete elements, and it basically works the same for anything here, adding it, adding photos, adding elements, anything like that really, even adding backgrounds if you want, just like that, and scaling them. So I'm gonna now go away a little bit from that, and I'm gonna focus your attention on this text color. So let's go to text color, and as you can see, we have no brand colors set for this brand kit, but we have a bunch of default colors, so I can change it to anything that I really want my heart desires on. So I can even go to add here, and I can make my own color kind of that I want, and I'm just gonna go with one of the defaults here because I really like this color. I don't know why, I'm just going to choose this color. And that's essentially how you make your colors. So again, all you need to do is click on it, go to this default colors or add another color, and it'll add it to your document colors that you've used in the project. So as you can see, we've used blue and white, and might say that in the text we didn't use white, or is it that little spot right there? But no, it isn't. It's the background color. Okay, that's about it. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to direct your attention. So I think you already know, if you've ever used Word or Google Docs or anything, even Google Slides or anything like that, if you press bold, it'll bold it, italics, it'll italicize it, underlined, I can underline it, and I can uppercase it or whatever, but Gaglin makes the font already uppercase, so it's fine. And I can do alignment, center, and all that stuff. Great. So I can even add these lists and stuff. I'm not going to right now because, as you can see, it doesn't really make sense, but that's just there if you ever need it. Spacing is really important. You can add more spacing just like that, right? Line spacing, but we don't have a line, so it's kind of useless. And anchor text box, but we're just going to ignore that for now. And yeah, so we have our effects here, which is our second last thing, and this is a very, very important thing whenever you're making a logo or whatever. You might want to use this. So as you can see, if we click on effects here, we have none, we have shadow. So as you can see, it gives it a little shadow, so that's really cool. And we can play around with these settings to make it really, really to our liking. And this is a great thing about Canva. We can give the blur better, we can make it transparent, all that stuff. Really, really cool. We can even change the color, so it's really sick. So yeah, so just go ahead and play around with like your settings, like lift, your hollow. I would stay away from Gaglin hollow because it looks like that, which I personally don't like. It's all up to you, really. You can go to splice, right? Echo. You can go to glitch. This is something that a lot of people like, where you can change that and stuff like that. Neon, all this cool stuff. And curve is something that a lot of people use. I'm actually going to stay away from neon if I can. And so it gives you like a circle, and it's really cool just like that. And you can give it more of a curve really any way you want. I'm just going to leave it like this for now. And as you can see, we have this really cool nifty thing. So what I'm going to do next is show you the animate button, which when you click on animate, it should give you a bunch of free stuff like block, breathe, all these cool animations if you ever want to make it in videos and stuff. So feel free to use whatever animations you really want to use and stuff like that. So lastly, for this tutorial, I'm just going to be showing you more of manipulating, which is just moving this around to your liking. So really all you got to do, say it's on the side, say we don't want it straight, but we want it on the side, all we got to do is click on it and see this small little circle button, and we can move it to wherever we want. So now I can scale it here just like that, and say I want it like this. There, that's my design. So that's essentially this tutorial. And in this tutorial, to summarize, you learned adding elements, adding elements, adding text, and manipulating scale, size, fonts, text, size, a bunch of stuff in that very short period of time. So give yourself a pat on the back. And yeah, that's essentially it for this video. Thanks for watching, live creatively, and I'll see you in the next one. Creative Coding out.